of the constitution of PDP and the supremacy of the party convention, the decisions reached at the party convention. The Liman judgment affirmed that the constitution of the PDP is supreme and that the decisions handed out by the national convention is proper. That's the Liman decision. How does it affect the parties on the scene now? Basically, that judgment says Ali Modu Sheriff has been removed as chairman of the party. And of course, he is saying, no, I do not recognize the outcome of that convention. I remain the party chairman. Now, a judgment has been handed down. And by the way, he was never, and we are forgetting one thing, he was never elected as chairman. He was appointed. He was acting chairman.
And he says for a period of time, up till 2018?
There is a judgment against that, which it seems that we're forgetting. The Federal Capital Territory High Court, Honorable Justice A.B. Mohammed, in May this year, handed down a judgment to the effect that you do not have a tenure until 2018. You were appointed in acting capacity until elections are held at a national convention to elect a substantive chairman. What I think is happening here, this is my view, if your appointment is pending election and it is an acting capacity appointment, if elections do not hold, who benefits? That's for Nigerians to decide. Who benefits? Where is the principle of democracy here? Because the party constitution says our chairman must be elected, and he must be elected at a national convention. You accepted the appointment in acting capacity. It also means you know fully well. And that is the decision given by the FCT High Court, even before the Liman judgment. This is a judgment that is also subsisting. Not order, not ruling, a judgment. Effectively saying you are not chairman, and you do not have a tenure until 2018, as you are saying. That judgment is also not challenged. These are judgments.
Okay. My colleague Mark would like to bring a question. Go ahead, Mark.
What then do we make of the judgment in Rivers State? If this this judgment was subsisting already, why did the PDP also need to go to court to enforce its rights?
The judgment, I believe you are referring to the judgment of Justice Wakila yesterday.
Yes, I should think so. Go ahead.
If you are referring to the judgment yesterday, the object of that judgment is to affirm, to give effect to the earlier decision of Justice Liman. Justice Liman had already ruled in his judgment that the convention of 21st of May is valid and that the decisions reached there are valid. Now, the convention appointed a national caretaker committee for a period of 90 days. What that basically means is that they have a tenure. At the end of 90 days, they cease to have office. They must leave office. Elected officials must come in. How will elected officials come in if you do not hold a national convention in consonance with the constitution of the PDP? So the whole purport of yesterday's judgment is to ensure that the judgment of Liman is given effect and that the party constitution, which has been adjudged as supreme, and the national convention of the party, which has also been adjudged as the final organ to determine affairs of the party, all these had been settled in the previous judgment. So yesterday's judgment, as it were, is to give effect to the previous decision of Honorable Justice Liman.
So it was not to give maybe back in or counter the previous judgment that the reason why PDP, remember the first time on, they were in Port Harcourt, but they could not hold the convention. So that judgment yesterday, it was not to counter that earlier judgment.
No, it wasn't. The judgment yesterday, in the previous convention, 21st of May, elections could not hold because there were certain orders extant at that time.
Have they been vacated or?
The judgment of Liman J has overtaken all that. And until the judgment of Liman J is set aside in the Court of Appeal, that is the decision, that is the reference point on this issue. Until that judgment is set aside or suspended, that is the decision that, in my view, even Honorable Justice Abang is bound by, because these are courts of coordinate jurisdiction.
All right, we'll take a quick moment now, but we'll be back and conclude our conversation in just a moment. Join us again. Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, that's you got a question.
Yes, I was going to ask a question. Is Senator Alimo the Sheriff doing anything illegal?
That's an interesting question. In my humble opinion, yes. He is pursuing illegality. What he's doing is wrong.
So, are you also implying that Justice Abang is said to have, okay, let me put it this way, Justice Abang is said to be predicating his ruling on a judgment by a Lagos High Court concerning the PDP convention and the PDP generally. What do you think about that?
There has been no judgment before the judgment of Honorable Justice Liman. No judgment previously handed down in this PDP issue.
Around the country?
None. Relating to the convention? No. The only judgment to which I have referred is the judgment of Justice A.B. Mohammed of the FCT High Court, in which he categorically decided the point that the tenure of office of Senator Alimo the Sheriff is not until 2018, but rather as an interim in acting capacity until elections are held to fill the office of the chairman of PDP at the national convention of the party. That is a standing judgment. And this is not even a Port Harcourt judgment. This is FCT High Court judgment, which it seems Senator Sheriff doesn't want to remember any longer.
But what do you say to those who say that all of those judgments, all of those rulings previously, none of them were categorical or positive to the extent that they were specifically saying, PDP, go ahead with your convention, as that of yesterday, they say was very positive and says, do not hold the convention, do not present anyone for those key offices?
With all due respect, any decision that suggests that the PDP convention should not hold is effectively a decision that assumes the role of the Court of Appeal. If that pronouncement is not coming from the Court of Appeal, then I would be minded to say that that is a decision that has been made at the very best per inquiry.
So what should be done now that it does appear as though the police, they've gone in, convention won't hold in spite of all these court decisions? What happens next?
The police has effectively taken sides, because by going in to shut down the convention venue, they have effectively given heed to the orders of Honorable Justice Abang, and they have effectively ignored the judgment of Honorable Justice Liman, Honorable Justice Wakila, Honorable Justice A.B. Mohammed of the FCT High Court. That's what they've done. They ought to be taking proper advice.
Okay, well, that's where we'll have to anchor this segment. We've been speaking with Mr. Oladejo Lamikara, a senior advocate of Nigeria. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We will be back in a moment. We're still focusing on this matter. Do join us again.